Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching eISL powered by Coca-Cola. Of course, we have headed into a new week. We had some interesting matches yesterday, which I still am yet to recover from. But of course, before we get there, our platform, huge shout out to our sponsors. Of course, starting off with our associate sponsor Hero, our esports partners Nodwin Gaming, our platform partners PlayStation for making this event happen. So today, of course, I've got Azim joining along.
Oh yeah, that was some.
I'm pretty sure, likewise, you're still yet to get over from Ashwin's magic yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was something else. And today, of course, it's almost like we're starting from the beginning again. We're
Yeah,
going back to pretty much the first fixture that we casted on.
right.
And for those of you who are joining us midway through the EISL, let's quickly take you through the tournament format. We are just about halfway through the league stage right now, which culminates on the 13th of March. Every match rather, has 3 games, two 1v1s and one co-op. The top 4 teams will make it to the finals and Global Series 20 title. And also on the 21st March, the 2 winning team members will go head-to-head to represent India in the FIFA Global Series 2022.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've been talking about the golden ticket, right? And for all the new viewers again out there, there's one it written the line. The money that we're talking about, 78 lakh rupees. For the first position, you get 15 lakh, and so on. It reduces on towards 4 lakhs, and that's for the MVP. And for the fourth place, of course, it's 2.5. So that's pretty much there. 4 lakhs. But yeah, I was really astonished by looking at some huge numbers for the MVP, man, Azim, because
Yeah.
4 lakhs I've seen total prize pool of tournaments, and with eISL we just did not go a notch, right?
Yeah.
We went way too high, and that's the highest prize pool ever in an Indian FIFA tournament ever. All right, so we will have Zeke joining us in a little bit, but there you have the leaderboards. Chennai FC still on top. They did manage to get the win yesterday, and Mumbai City. Well, I mean, the way they've been playing, 11 games played, 21 points. They are absolutely having one hell of a run. SC's Bengal, of course, 2 games short. The favorites to be on the first spot over here. But taking a look at the 2 teams that we have in contention. Bengaluru FC, who are going to be looking to take that 7th slot off of Kerala Blasters FC, and ATK Mohun Bagan. I mean, they recently just won a game, and yesterday lost against a mighty team over here. But today they are here to change the tides of fortune. They are here to take down Bengaluru FC, who have not been playing for quite some time. So maybe these are just speculations. They could get rusty. That is Bengaluru FC, Azim, and ATK Mohun Bagan. They just had an action game yesterday. They tried a lot, but was just not enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be super exciting to see Varsi up against Bindratej. Bindratej, of course, will be reeling from the first game where he was easily in control of that game, sitting up 5-2, no problems, and then suddenly ended up losing that game 6 for ATKMB. So he, of course, has a point to prove. Goal scoring, as we've said at least 100 times in this tournament, never an issue for ATKMB. It's the defending side which has been the challenge for them, and we saw that yesterday as well, particularly with
Naveed.
KT. Didn't quite happen for him yesterday, but you just got to brush it off. And as I've said, ATKMB might not be in the race for that top 4, but they can have a huge influence on who makes it. So for all the boys who are taking part, if you guys are interacting with them in the bubble in the hotel, be nice to them because they might do you a favor later on.
All right, I completely understand where you're directing this conversation into, but likewise, Bengaluru FC today they have got a lot to prove, right? And yesterday we've seen Bindratej again, going head to head against Naveen. Uh, it ended in a draw, but he was quite expressive about not being happy about it, right?
Yeah.
So again, he could have done better in terms of his defense, but takes you down, like you said, the last time, Varsi's comeback, one of the iconic matches, right, which ended 6-5. So again, the same similar matchup. But this time things are a little bit different because ATK Mohun Bagan have won a game. Bengaluru FC haven't really got a lot of play time lately. So today is the day where maybe ATK Mohun Bagan can change the tides away. But to be honest, they were doing good really because the first matchup and Bindratej had already hit 5 goals. And all he's got to do is score a few more goals today and not let Warsi score any.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, easier said than done. Varsi, of course, scored those
Yeah.
6 goals in the first game, but since then he's been averaging just sort of one, maybe maximum of 2 goals per game. We do see, let's see what Bengaluru FC have to offer. Haven't seen this kit in a while. We do see Joao Cancelo, Rio Ferdinand as the defensive options chosen by Varsi. We do see Alfonso Davies. I think that's an offside. There we go. Uh, it's nice for us midway through the season as well to see the changes in the meta. The new cards, of course, keep arriving as the game constantly evolves, and will be interesting to see what this final meta shapes into. I'm a huge fan of that Joao Cancelo card. Not even if it's not the just the Team of the Year card, even the Champions League card, which I very luckily happened to pack in my PS5 version of Ultimate Team. He's a really, really good player. He can play everywhere across the pitch. You put him in center defense, fullback, attacking midfield, defensive midfield. Pretty much does a very, very solid job. So quite happy to see one of my favorite cards being used. And well, Bindratej in straight away goes for the shot,
What?
smashes it into the top corner straight away. Bindratej
Oh,
wasting no time.
oh God. What on earth did we just witness? I mean, I was just getting started. I was just having a sip of my coffee, and the next thing I see is Bindratej just whacking one in through the back of the net. I mean, this is exactly the kind of a start the Marinas needed right now. And Varsi under heavy pressure right from the get-go. Now again, we've seen these two lads play in the past. It was sort of a similar situation. Binder Tej had taken a very early lead, and we started, really considering that this was done for Warsi. But he's known for his comebacks, and he's indeed trying to do exactly the same, passing the ball on towards Neymar Jr., looking for a few more teammates around. I thought he would go for the right wing, but opted against it. Gullit on towards Ronaldo. Should take a shot, but Carlos Alberto just comes in and well, that was some interesting way for an interception, but still goes outside for a throw.
Yeah, interesting that he is sticking with Carlos Alberto at right back when there is, of course, that new upgraded Cafu available, which pretty much everyone seems to be using. But Bindute is looking very, very good in attack over there as well. Advantage played, keeps going, takes the shot, and it
What?
is two. Are we seeing a replay of that first match of the season? Is this live? What's happening?
Is this intentional? Because I do not understand. The defense was completely in shambles, as if Bintratej just completely. I mean, it's a bull just whacking through the arena. He just went in through. There was no one to stop him, and he scored. And
Yeah, and
ATKMB.
yeah, ATKMB have the lead. Sorry to cut you off there. Just saying that I think Bindratej is playing like a man possessed because he wants to set right what happened the last time.
Yeah.
And he would have been looking at this picture saying, you know what, Varsi, you did me really bad. Now I'm going to get my revenge. And looks like it could be the case. But Varsi, as we saw last time, only needs 10 in-game minutes to score 3 goals against Bindratej. But as you correctly mentioned, there is a little bit of rust. Bengaluru FC have not played for a while. They had a huge spurt of games and looked like early favorites, but suddenly that form tailed off. And well, for Varsi right now, he has the opportunity, takes a shot into the corner and right back in it. Here we go. The comeback could be on again.
Oh yes, it definitely is. Bengaluru FC having scored this one again. Those defensive lapses, hurting Bindratej, and he's always trying to compensate with being more aggressive with more attacking style of play. But then again, if you have to be the best, you're going up against the best. You've got to make sure that you've got all the angles covered. But Varsi, again realizing he's on the back foot and he needs to make a comeback, instantly dots one in. But this was the first match of eISL. Now we're sort of having a rematch of this game, and it's looking really similar, right? And now we've got to see if he can score one more with Mbappe. He's got the right foot in,
Woohoo!
and he makes a comeback, Azim. Bengaluru FC, they have equalized, and now we are back to ground zero.
Oh, well, 4 goals in the opening 30 minutes. Not a bad start to the day, I would have to
Oh
say.
yeah.
But it is, I think, and Varsi, if he's been paying attention to Bindra Tej's previous matches, yes, Bindra Tej has improved quite a bit on the defensive positioning. But those one-on-ones, those isolation plays, if you get one-on-one against him with a technical high-speed dribbler like an Mbappe, like a Ronaldo, it's very, very hard for Bindra Tej to deal with that, and we are seeing that as well. We'll probably see Varsi try to do that as well. He's obviously clearly shaken off all the rust, and you can see positioning wise, Binder Tej seems to be fine. He gets into a position where he can stop Varsi from progressing forward, but once he gets 1v1 in the box, Varsi of course is very, very good with his dribbling, but Binder Tej needs to be able to. I think he's relying more on chance than really anticipation, where he's like, okay, I'll just try left and right and see, hopefully it's a 50-50 shot and maybe it goes my way. But it's still now Varsi piling on the pressure. It's like Binder Tej didn't score those 2 goals at all, and well, gets the ball back now, and let's see if we can get another 13-goal thriller like last time.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that as well. In fact, all the fans would, but Bindratej, he would not like that because that was an absolute horrifying nightmare. That was the kind of a start that he had never anticipated, right? It was the first match of eISL, and you are leading, you're scoring, and suddenly somehow you lose that game. That was sort of devastating for Bindratej. And then we
Yeah.
could see ATKMB kind of falling down up until the point they did win a match last week. But right now, we've got Varsi again trying to be very careful, very cautious, just finding those chinks in the
Oh,
armor, goes for another shot with Pele, and there you go. Varsi has taken an early lead. Just exactly what Bengaluru FC needed, right? Initially, Azim, they were a bit rusty. It seemed like that, but once they got the hang of it, they woke up to their senses, and there you have it. Bendratej again on the verge of absolutely being crushed.
yeah, Vinatej will be so disappointed after it looked like such a great start, 2-0 up in the opening 15 minutes. Looks like everything's under control, but his arch nemesis Varsi strikes again. The comeback has happened again, but at least for Vinatej this time there is half the game for him to recover from it. Maybe he can stage his own comeback. These two are probably, this is the best rivalry we've seen in the eISL so far. It keeps going with Pele looking to turn through a gap which wasn't quite there for him. And now Varsi looking to go on that counter attack, looking to play with like speed, with penetration in the box over there, this time slowing it down, bringing his fullback forward. He does have options. He has 3 or 4 options to look for up top, basically playing almost like a 4-2-4 kind of formation right now, 4-2-3-1. And there you go. Again, fires it in, has the shot, and it is 4. It is 4-2. What
Oh,
a turnaround.
this is not supposed to be going in for ATKMB like this because Bengaluru FC, well, Varsi has taken it personally. He does not want the repetition of the storyline in the last encounter he had against Bindratej. He would want to be the one dominating. And Azim, come on. I mean, we really thought that this would be an absolute cracking day, but 6 goals scored just in the first half. Are we getting started?
Oh man, well, let's see if we can get 6 more. Let's see if the second half ends 4-2 in the favor of Binder Tej and it ends as a 8-all score line. Who knows? It's absolutely crazy right now. And there we go. That fast start from Binder Tej. I think just a little bit of rust from Varsi, not quite being prepared for just how aggressively Binder Tej was going to go attacking him. You see over there, just bulldozing his way through that defense, and you can see now the impact of the nerf to the keepers, because earlier in the season I think both of those shots that Bindratej took probably would have been saved by the keepers, but now the meta is slightly different. Bindratej going from the start, and usually that is the sign of a man who is a bit desperate. He's taken a defensive midfielder off and brought on Cristiano Ronaldo. So he is going absolutely for broke. Defense is not a priority anymore. And I think for Bindratej, it suits his style of play.
Yeah.
Just go all out attack, and then whatever happens in defense, we'll see about. I mean, we'll see what we can do about it.
Of course, we would love to. And for Varsity right now over here is this is this one thing going on, right? Keep pressing, keep scoring more goals. Do not give Bindratej a lot of ball because we know what he does when he gets it. But right now, all right, so there's an interception out there. A few different players we're getting to see as the day commences, but that could be a good chance. Pele just shifting to the left leg, giving it on to his Ronaldo, goes in for the shot, but deflection coming out from the defender as Neymar and Mbappe, they would be looking for a little more numbers on them. Pushes it off to the left wing with Pele, who's going to be going charging in. Beats that one defender out there. Neymar Jr. has got to take a shot. Benthatej has to do
Hmm.
something. But maybe wasn't just enough for Warsi's defense.
Yeah, it does look like Binder Tej now, and it of course happens when you're two goals up and suddenly you find yourself 4-2 down. The nerves are obviously a factor over here, and he's not going to be playing as instinctively as he was at the start of the game. He is going to be sort of second guessing. There is pressure, there is tension attached to it, and that affects your decision making. We saw that there. For Varsi, he's trying to make his way through. Binder Tej looking a little bit more solid defensively in this half, looks for Ronaldo, finds the second Ronaldo, and
Oh,
now
wow.
has
Oh.
Mbappe going forward as well. Not quite, but finds Mbappe again. Now has bodies in the box. Ronaldo, Pele will take that shot surely and saved by Casillas at the near post. Oh no, it's wide. Actually, just wide of the post.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I mean, I really thought for a second, you know, it was a little too on the edge, but it's all right. That's something that they can live with. But I think Varsi, considering the fact that I'm almost witnessing this lad play after a month.
Yeah.
Bengaluru FC. It's been a long while. I think initially during those fixtures, we saw them having their matches really quickly, and then we used to see them quite often then. And then there was a huge gap, so we were starting to wonder, if they would have gotten a little rusty. But now it looks like they've all been oiled up and they're good to go. But ATK Mohun Bagan, they've got to change the fate. And Pele,
Ooh.
oh, that's a nice
Ooh.
dribble. Oh, that should be a goal. But
Oh.
Casillas in for the save.
Yeah, I think he just went for the wrong post over there. Needed to go to the right side because it did look like the keeper had covered the that left side post. Let's see what he does from this corner routine. Calling Gullet to go short. Will he look to put the cross in because the man with who would be heading the ball is actually the guy who had control of the ball. And now looking for a quick counter attack is Varsi. Looks for that ball in behind. It's a straight battle between Carlos Alberto and Mbappe. The defender wins out this time, and again Bindratej, he knows that he needs to get a goal within the next sort of 10 in-game minutes to really bring up that pressure towards the end of the game. Obviously, he has to make sure he doesn't concede either. He's gone to that 4-1-2-1-2 diamond formation. And yeah, there's the opening for Mbappe. Little hesitation, finds Ronaldo, and there is no stopping Varsi. That is 5-2 to
All right.
Bengaluru FC. Rust? What rust? Varsi is straight back in it.
Oh yes, he definitely is. And a little bit of a recap, right? This was the exact same scoreline the other way around. 5-2. I still remember it. And then we had witnessed an iconic comeback by Warsi. It's as if these two are meant to go against each other and it's supposed to be a high goal scoring match. Now the question arises.
Oh,
Can today Bendratej pull off a comeback like Warsi did back then? And Varsi, I pretty much remember it was almost around the 70 plus minutes marker. He was 3 goals short. But somehow he scored the equalizer in the final minute, scored the winner as well, and managed to win the game. Bindratej raring to do something like that, but Varsi is in no intention to give him the room and space.
yeah, it's going to be a very, very task for Bindratej to do this.
All right. So, in a while, we'll have Azim back with us. But till then, Varsi, over here. He is just trying to play around, build up a few passes. There's so much things going on in Bindratej's defense. Maybe we could sit down with him and ask what's the primary issue, or maybe he just does not like to play like that. But hold on, Khalid is about to pass it on towards Mbappe, I believe, but was just fended off. Now ATK Mohun Bagan on a beautiful counter attack. This could be nice from Ronaldo. He's picked up the ball well, and there he scores. And Bindratej, well, that's a comeback from his side. 5-3 the scoreline, and ATK Mohun Bagan are just 2 goals short now from equalizing the score. And the drama is real. Now, we've been talking about this particular week. It has been so explosive in terms of how many goals have been scored. And Bindratej just looks at that one sliver of opening, one opportunity, and he capitalizes.
Yeah, gets the goal which was needed, but will he manage to pull off that iconic comeback like Vasi did? It's almost like we're watching a complete role reversal of that previous game. Let's see if he can manage to do it. But if he does, I mean, oh my god, that would be an absolute shocker.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely will. But right now, as things are, of course, Varsi would not want to let history repeat in the way that he does not want it. He would want to be the one dominating. He would rather want to have a clear victory. So for that, he needs to score one more. And both these players are going after each other. Now the question really prevails, Azim. Now this is where we would seek your expertise. What's going wrong with their defenses? Because let's be honest, conceding so much goals is not a good thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, and he could be conceding another one. This is Vinicius in, but just offside. I think inches in that decision over there, and you can see. I think for both these players in situations like this, we do know that Bindratej struggles a little bit on 1v1 defending. Here we see Varsi. Can he finish it off? Searches for Eusebio, turns, shoots, and finally does what Bindratej could not with the first time that they met. Gets that sixth goal, and now you would have to think it really, really is beyond Bindratej. But coming back to what you were asking, I do believe that yes, you can have a lot of ability, you can have a lot of compactness to your defense, but when you start chasing goals, trying to open it up, you lose the defensive shape. Your pressing is much higher. It's not really as compact as it needs to be. And of course, the mental aspect of it, the nerves, the concentration on defense isn't as high as it normally would be. Your focus is mainly on attacking, and I think that's what we're seeing from both these guys. And now, can Bindratej get in? No, had the opportunity but can't take it.
Yeah, just can't take it. But right now, as things progress, we've got ATK Mohun Bagan with just 3 minutes, 3 goals to score. Well, that's a difficult number, but Benzatej would like his chances as he was entering in through, but no, did not really happen. And Varsi, all he's got to do is just keep possession of the ball for the next 2 minutes, because that would pretty much ensure his victory. As we can see, he's just playing around, and there you have it. 90 minutes already hit. So somewhere down the line, we're already confirmed that Bengaluru FC have seen this through, but a last chance, last ditch attack from well, Pindatej, and it has been foiled. And there you go, the full time whistle finally being blown. And Bengaluru, this time, a quite convincing victory, 6-3 for the man who's made a comeback. There you have it, Warsi.
Yeah, I think Bindu Tej is gonna be having nightmares about Varsi for the next couple of months. Gone
Again.
up against him twice. Yeah, had a two goal or more than 2 goal lead on occasion, and just thrown it away. Conceded 6 goals each time. So yeah, he'll be glad he doesn't have to play Varsi again in this tournament. He can move on to better things. And now the focus shifts to KT Delong. Can he turn around the result? Of course, it was 4-2 in Sagnik's favor when they played the last time. Maybe it can be 4-2 in his favor this time around. Maybe he can take advantage of the little bit of rust that Sagnik might show the way that Varsi did in at the start of that game. Get a goal, get maybe 2 goals, and then try to see it out. But yeah, it is easier said than done. Sagnik, of course, experienced player, one of the best. We saw 15 or so minutes in, 2 goals for Bindratej. All looked very nice, very rosy. Looked like another happy day at the office. But sadly for ATKMB, once again, not to be.
Oh yeah. Again, there was this one time where we really thought that no, this is it. We finally done ATKMB. They are staging a comeback. Then yesterday they've had a loss against the mighty Chennai FC. But going up against Bengaluru FC, this is the place where they should have really looked forward to getting themselves back, right? But then again, if you talk about the potential of the players of Bengaluru FC, Shagnik and Varsi, two of the amazing players we have in the Indian circuit are quite old. We've seen Shagnik in various events across it. He's been top four. He's been one of the top tens if you could consider in the Indian circuit. So again, one of the very decorated players along with Varsi, who we've been seeing for quite some time. So again, they've had a little bit of a dip lately, not really the kind of a position that they would want to be in. But for Bengaluru FC, this matchup means a lot, right? This matchup is there to send a message that yes, guys, we're still here. We want to enter into the top four. We still want to contend for the first spot.
Yeah, I mean, first maybe a little too far from them, but I think realistically they can look at the top four for sure, especially given the fact that both Kerala Blasters and Jamshedpur FC both dropped points yesterday. So there is that door, that window of opportunity has opened up for them, and now, well, Varsi has taken his chance. Let's see if Sagnik can do the same. It is obviously going to be a bit of a nervy situation for him as well, just coming straight back into that land environment after a
Yeah,
couple of weeks out. So just like we saw with Varsi, we could see maybe a little bit of a surprise, maybe a little spanner thrown into works by KT. But we did see it was eventually very, very clinical from Varsi. Just brilliant stuff on the counter attack. The finishing and that 1v1, the ability to beat his man and just send the defender one way, you go the other way. And there you can see, I think, a fairly comprehensive victory. If you look at it, dominating pretty much
yeah.
every stat. Like the only stat where ATKMB had any kind of advantage was just that one corner kick to zero. So comprehensive performance, you would have to say, from Varsi.
Oh, definitely. No questions over there. But the way it started, I really felt there were a few hiccups, right? When he conceded a few, and I was starting to get worried as is everything fine with Varsi? Then he realized that it's his day. He's gonna pull off a comeback, so he's just waiting for us on the other side of the studio. So let's just head in and have a conversation. It's been a long while, Varsi, and we were starting to feel you were getting a little rusty because you've not had a lot of playtime. But boy, oh boy, you repeated history again. Things stand still.
Yeah, thank you, Vixer, so much. Yeah, like I was pretty sure कि comeback तो मैं कर लूँगा. That just the fact that I conceded 2 goals earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, मेरे को यही था कि प्रेस अच्छे से करना है, बस थोड़ा प्रेस गलत कर रहा था मैं स्टार्ट में. सागनिक told me कि प्रेस अच्छे से कर हो जाएगा. Yeah, that's it. Kept it simple.
Okay. तो यार तुम्हारा और बिंद्र तेज के साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मतलब हैव यू ऑल डेटेड द सेम गर्ल बिफोर? व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट यू हैव? बिकॉज़ द मोमेंट बिंद्र तेज टेक्स द लीड, यू आर लाइक, नो, आई विल स्कोर 6 goals immediately. So what's going on there?
The only thing I told Bindra before the game, बस 5 मत मारियो वरना मैं पक्का comeback करूँगा. That's it. बाकी और कुछ नहीं हमारा.
you know this is the exact same thing that even Azim and I were having a conversation about when we were off the cameras. So this was again the first matchup of eISL, and you had written history right from the very start, making a comeback. But more than that, I think this was again just one game, right? You still have the second and the co-op game to go. But talking about where you stand in the overall standings, I think Bengaluru FC, with the kind of players that you have, you should be looking a little higher. So, talk with me about that. Like, what are your plans? How do you plan on making it to the top four?
Okay, so the first half didn't go as we planned. We
Yeah,
obviously can't afford to finish like seventh in the first half. The thing is, Kerala and Jamshedpur both dropped points yesterday, and if we win today, we'll be ahead of Kerala Blasters and level on points with Jamshedpur. So the thing is, we
Right.
cannot afford to lose a single game in the next half, obviously. So we have to
yeah.
capitalize on each and every game, but it's one game at a time, obviously. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we wish you all the best on your journey. Hopefully, you can make it to that top four. It's so tight, so I'm sure it's going to be a big challenge for all the players involved. And yeah, good luck for Sagnik for his game, and good luck for the co-op as well.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. All right. So, that's uh, that's pretty much has become a really common dialogue from every FIFA player that we're interviewing. It's
Yeah,
just one game at a time. We want someone. We want someone to be making some big claims, right? We
yeah,
want the controversies being created because it's almost been like 2 months and still no drama around. At least nothing that I have heard of. No
yeah.
BMing. All these players are really very sweet. Staying under one roof. How can they not fight? Are they even humans?
Yeah, no, no, I'm sure it'll come because again, as we reach towards the end stages of the league stage, once it
Yeah.
becomes about knockout, once it becomes about jeopardy, that okay, if we lose this game, we're out. Then a few people's going to the corner, wasting a little bit of time here and there. I can see a few controllers being broken along the way.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I really want these players to be going at it as if they mean it. Something like really personal, like you mentioned, towards those end phases when you know it's your knockouts on the line. If you do not win the next matchup, you're out of this tournament. That is when we would be seeing, a lot of hotel doors, having four players together, little bit of, talking over there, a little bit of, masala that I really like. So a lot of things might happen. A lot of things might happen, and we would love to see that action. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it's of course going to be the second game for the evening. It's going to be KT going up against the mighty Shagnik. Now, Shagnik, we have seen a lot out of him, right? He possesses immense talent and potential. But lately has been going through a rough phase. So today's matchup means a lot to him. And for KT, we've seen him making those improvements. We've seen him trying to make those plays. But yesterday, what happened against him was nothing short of a nightmare.
Yeah, I think Katie just did not show up yesterday. I think, and he had good circumstances as well to try and get the result because we did see that Bindra got the result against Naveen yesterday, which a lot of us were not expecting, and that gave Katie a chance, a sliver of hope. As we look at the head-to-head over there, of course, Sagnik has a fairly healthy 2 goals per game. Katie not quite scoring as many goals that he would like, and conceded a lot against. He came up against a Saranch who was finally, as we had said, that one player was going to be on the end of a huge spanking from Saranch, and sadly for Katie, it was him that day. But just got to brush that to the side. Of course, today is a new day, and yes, with every passing game, the likelihood of that top four, which is already a very small chance, keeps reducing further and further for ATK. But you have to take it as the Bengaluru FC boys said as well. Whether you're at the top or the bottom, you still have to take it one game at a time. Just forget about the history, what's happened yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 weeks ago. It's about being in the moment. And we do know KT is a very, very good player on his day. We've seen him when he got that win against FC Goa. We've seen how much it means to him. And well, we can hope that from a neutral perspective, he ends this game with a smile on his face, takes it to the co-op, and yeah, gives all of us some more excitement in this game.
Oh yeah, that definitely is. And yeah, taking a look at the statistics, Shagnik, of course, being the better player out over here. But today, KT needs to change things around, right? Win this game, force it for a co-op game, and that's where they're gonna take their chances. But again, you just can't let Bengaluru FC get ahead with where they're going, right? Because if they win this one, they ensure themselves 3 points. And for ATK Mohun Bagan, we've been talking about, even Warsi did make this statement, right? That he had a very loose early first half, and then suddenly he wants to change things in the second half. Now, this is in the context to the matches that they've already played, right? We did talk about this being, the players play against each other twice. So they've played against each other for the first time. They're now going off for the second time. And as we speak, here's the kickoff, of course, Bengaluru FC from left to right. And we've got ATKMB from right to left with KT trying to force this for a third game.
Yeah, and KT, well, offside over there. You can see the offside trap being used quite well by Shagnik and ATKMB. And yeah, for Shagnik as well, let's see how sharp he is off the mark. Well, very sharp it seems. He's using his favorite players, Cruyff over there. Got Neymar, takes the shot, well blocked. It does look like KT is playing with Patrick Vieira in defense, so no Ferdinand or Desai or anyone for him. He wants to just keep it the way it is. He does have Kevin De Bruyne in midfield, which of course gives him a good range of passing, gives him a good long shot as well. Getting Mbappe down the flanks now. He does have three bodies in the box, goes for the short fake, turns around, gets past his man, now finds Neymar Jr. in the box, but Vieira charges in. Early corner for KT Dillon there. You see him rolling up his sleeves. Looks like he is in the mood today.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. And all right, so initially we can see the way things are going. Of course, Shaknik, here is determined to try and get the first goal in, and he's been making his chances. But Katie, now this looks like some promising stuff with the build-up, but still he's taking his time with Gullit looking forward for the pass. But this was a sort of a weird one. De Bruyne, however, making a perfect read, and there you go. So Bengaluru FC are back at it again.
Ooh.
Oh, he's still keeping it.
Yeah, good pressure again. Very good pressure from KT, and ooh, just not quite happening for him. I think a little bit of slipping. Oh yeah, that's what he wants. He's properly getting it. The gloves are off. The jackets are off. KT wants to get. I think that's why he had the pause cued. You can see him. Lots of intensity in the eyes of KT Dillon, and of course Shagnik. Obviously has been growing out his hair, looking like one of the stars of a one of those romantic TikTok videos. I think maybe that's the vibe that he's looking for. And quick glimpse, we see a 4-3-1-2 being played by ATKMB. So slightly different approach for in this game from KT. Maybe he just wants to be solid, wants to have a solid spine to that team. And let's see if he can keep Sagnik out, because the minimum he wants from this is at least a draw.
Oh yeah, he definitely would want the same, right? Because for KT, he has to, however, get a win. But now for Shagnik, of course, he's pushing in from the right, and it's not explosive fireworks like we did see in Bindratej and a Varsi game,
Ooh.
but De Bruyne, now that's a good run. He's got to chip this over, but instead, I think he went in for a short pass, but was well read by Ter Stegen. So again, we've got Katie this time. He's trying to build a counter attack of his own.
Oh, and he's given it straight to Bengaluru FC. Also, interesting choice of goalkeeper for KT, going with Ter Stegen rather than Casillas or Van der Sar or Yashin or one of the regular goalkeepers. So quite interesting to know. Maybe it's a special card that he's using of Ter Stegen, because the general Ter Stegen keeper isn't the most impressive card. Is just sort of like a mid 80s rated card, which is not something you would pick when you have an entire unlocked account to choose from. Sagnik over there had the opportunity to get in, didn't take it once, didn't take it twice, shifting KT's defense all over the place, and now it's about 1v1. Can he get the shot away? It is saved. Okay, Ter Stegen, I take my words back. Ter Stegen gets the save.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, of course, a good start for Shagnik. He's been taking his chances. He's being, constantly pressing on, and there you have it. KT is having a little bit of trouble dealing with it, but for now, he's still holding on to it. But then again, we've got to see De Bruyne passing it on towards Mbappe. I think that was a bit of an offside.
Yeah, that was offside. And well, for KT, it's you can see Sagnik pressing him. Both the teams actually pressing each other pretty high up the pitch, and now a little bit of space given to KT to try to build. Goes wide to find Theo Hernandez. That's actually very, very well worked. He does have Cafu also coming in at that back post if he wants to spot him. Looking for the run from Gullit. Can he find it, or is it just a decoy? Trying to get well, he had opportunities to put a ball into the box, scores with Gullit, but just completely gets that finish all wrong. You can see he's trying that sort of the new meta finish, as we were discussing with Ankit Gupta the other day as well, of just being at the corner of the box and doing that chop back and taking the shot, but not getting the finishing right at all. And now it is 3v2, desperately trying to get back, and he does, but he's given the ball away to Pele. Surely a goal for Sagnik, and it is into the bottom corner. And unfortunately, you'd have to say KT kind of digging his own grave over there.
Oh yeah, and there you go. Finally, it took a while, but Shagnik seems to have come through, and Bengaluru FC. Look at this. With Neymar, there's very less likely chances that you're gonna miss, and really, the kind of a start now that Bengaluru FC wanted, they've received it. Now they would want to further bolster it up, and it's 32 minutes past it, and they've got a lead. This is where KT has got to make a comeback, at least just before the halftime. If you can score one, then that would be enough.
Yeah, let's see if he can. Though Sagnik, of course, very experienced player. He's not going to give him anything for cheap. Now Neymar getting in could be. Oh, I think tried to be a bit too ambitious over there, going in between two defenders. I think even if he had just taken a regular shot, that would at least have tested the keeper, if nothing else, and maybe got him a corner as well. And now using Mbappe, twisting, turning, getting away from one defender and the other, and then running it out for a goal kick.
Oh yeah, but again, this is not how Katie DeLong would want things to go, because he's constantly on the side where he's trying to fend off goals. He's got to build up his own attack. He's got to go for his signature cutbacks and maybe try to score one. And well, I mean, for now, he's got to keep a little bit of possession, but not a lot of time remains before we head in for the when we head in for the half time. But of course, if Shagnik sort of maintains this kind of composure, he's maintaining quite a lot of possession on him, then it's going to be relatively difficult. Neymar Jr. seems to have gotten through, scores another, and there you have it. Glimpses of the real Shagnik, and Bengaluru FC go 2-0 up. Now, yesterday was a day where we did see the veterans making a comeback. We saw Sharanj absolutely letting himself loose. And today, again, one of the oldies over here, Shagnik, he is also doing the same.
Yeah, I think Katie Dillon must be thinking that he's just become a punching bag for all these pros to get their form back.
Oh,
But yeah, it's true. But I mean, I think he just needs to, just settle down a little bit. I think he's trying to play too rushed. He's trying to rush those passes, trying to play passes that are not quite there yet. This time gets a good, managed to pick out a good pass. Again, being marshaled very, very well by Vieira. Doesn't quite. The bounce of the ball isn't quite going for him. It just seems that Sagnik is always there ahead of him. Now, Ruud Gullit, the pace and the power, and goes for it into the corner. No, off the
oh,
crossbar, and we have seen that by so many players. Definitely a new part of the meta. That little chop back and the shot doesn't matter if it's strong foot or weak foot. Doesn't seem to matter to the game because it almost was another spectacular goal.
oh yeah. I mean, almost is the word where we have to settle at. But there you go. The halftime whistle has been blown, and Katie still under heavy pressure. He's got to make a comeback, and again, uh, I'm still gonna take my chances with Katie, because we know that this man can. And what would a game be if it doesn't go for a co-op, right? A co-op decider. We would want Katie to make a comeback, but it's going to be really difficult, especially against a well-settled Shagnik. He's not making a lot of mistakes. He's finding those gaps and is really hitting him hard. And now, for of course Katie to make a comeback, what do you think, Azim, that he needs to do that he can stop Shagnik at his tracks?
I think he needs to relax a little bit and see. He's trying to make those passes where he's just forcing it. I think what he needs to do is just pass that ball around, keep a little bit of possession. Again, trying to go for a pass that's just really not on. And I've been there. I've been in this situation myself. You're sitting sometimes playing. Oh my goodness, at the near post this time again.
Oh,
Neymar. This time, even he wants to celebrate after two apologetic celebrations. I think Sagnik enjoyed that one. It's 3-0, and unfortunately for KT, again, sort of giving up his possession. Maybe the keeper as well, if he had a superior keeper card over there, might have worked out well for him. KT now going for maybe a little change in tactics. Let's see if he goes to a 4-4-2 this time. He has been playing that 4-3-1-2, which is just not quite worked for him. I think he needs to just keep the ball in midfield. Again, not keeping the ball at all, and really that's what's led to his downfall in this game.
oh yeah, and at this particular moment, it is going to get even more devastating. But yeah, so at least Katie did read what was just going to happen around, and like you said, he's got to make sure he's got to take those baby steps. But hold on, all right, Sagnik
Oh,
with those sort of moves, he is definitely putting the party on, and well, a little too much maybe. Could have done better, but either ways, this is the kind of opportunity that I believe Katie should capitalize.
yeah, this is well worked by him and beautifully worked
Wow!
there. But
Oh,
heads it straight to the
oh,
keeper, had the
oh,
entire post open, but hit the keeper.
oh God!
And he had worked that counter attack so well. I think that would have really, really given him a huge boost of confidence. But now it looks like he's going to concede to Sagnik as well. And no, it is blocked. Sagnik, I think, showing just a little bit of mercy over there, not going for the chip shot, which would have got a bit embarrassing as well. And yeah, you would have to say at this point, I think the game is up. It's going to be yet another bad day at the office for ATKMB. Pause being queued by Bengaluru FC, so maybe Sagnik wants to just shore up his defense just a little bit, or maybe just try out a few new attackers. 3 goal buffer is a great opportunity to try out some new cards and see how you're feeling with them. But for KT, again, not able to keep the ball in midfield. The press from Sagnik, of course, very high, not quite able to cope with that. And now you could see with Neymar, he's got Gullit in there and Neymar looking for him for Ronaldo now. And yeah, that is 4-0. He has absolutely bossed this game.
Oh yeah.
And you have to feel for KT. 2 games, 2 days back to back, he's come up against players in insane form. And I think you can see visibly his confidence has been knocked.
Yeah, and this is right from the very start of the game, right? When we had those player camps going up, Katie was not really feeling himself, right? And conceding goals like this again, ATKMB, they will have to work out on the defensive areas, and Varsi knows that Shagnik has done KT bad, and it sort of continues after the onslaught by Saranj Jain yesterday. I mean, of course, you've got to feel bad for KT somewhere down the line, because these players, Saranj, even he was not the kind of Saranj that we had initially anticipated. But he said, I was overthinking, I had a lot of pressure. Now I'm just gonna let myself loose. And I think Shaknik has maybe taken a page off of his book, and this is again a completely aggressive, different sort of a Shagnik that I've seen and loved before, who was sort of silent, but exactly the kind of a power that Bengaluru FC needs, because he is going after for one more goal with Ronaldo, but still taking his time, being a little patient. But oh, that was a slight overextension. But yeah, KT did respond in time, and it was a good one.
Yeah, I think it was a case of him showing mercy over there. Like, if this game was 3-all at that point, he would have just taken the shot and not thought about it. But now he's just trying to play around a little bit, see, experiment, and see what he can do. Now with Mbappe, just trying to get that perfect, that picture goal now, dribbling left and right, and it will be annoying KT for sure. And as I mentioned, a lot of us have been in this situation. Great ball through to find Cruyff. Will he be able to get the shot away this time? No, Van der Sar at his feet. Two Dutch legends combining over there. But as I was saying, that a lot of us have been in these situations where you've played a lot of games. It's late in the night, and then you're just tired, you're just frustrated, but you still keep playing, and you make a lot of elementary mistakes. You're making passes that are not quite there. You're rushing into to tackle places where you can't quite make it, and just getting overextended and frustrated with each passing minute of the game. And that's really what's happened to KT over these last couple of days,
Ooh.
where not quite sure what Satvik was doing there, but I mean, he can enjoy himself now.
Yeah, indeed, he is enjoying. I mean, it's quite visible from his player cam. And yeah, Bengaluru FC, they do realize that they've at least confirmed those 3 pointers, and that is going to take them just above Kerala Blasters. Now, if things go the way that is going, then they're going to try and go at Jamshedpur FC the next week, because we've seen a little bit of a downfall from their side as well. Again, one of my favorite teams, and the boys, I've known them, the kind of potential that they carry forward. But look at Ronaldo receiving a very
Oh!
good pass, goes in for a left leg finesse, but barely just centimeters away from the crossbar.
And looks like Sagning might be able to close this out with a fifth. I think he could have, if he really wanted to, he could have been like 6 goals up right now. But he's trying to just use this as an opportunity for a little bit of practice to try and work on his skill moves inside the box rather than just taking the shot straight away. I think a little bit of showing mercy to his opponent as well. Now, Cruyff with the ball in, tries for the chip again. Just not his day, and you can see almost trying to slide through the goalkeeper over there. In FIFA 98, you would have got a red card for that, but thankfully, you can't tackle the keeper in modern day games. And now, using Vinicius on that right flank, let's see what he tries this time. Gets it to goal, it takes the shot, bang, as easy as you like. And unfortunately for KT again, he's conceded 5 goals.
Oh yeah, And this is again sort of has become a walk in the park for Shagnik, and the results stay same. The last encounter. Now we're gonna see a lot of the matches being repeated, right? We've had the first encounters, but there you go, there you go, the full-time whistle being blown, and quite a convincing win for Bengaluru FC, to be honest. And after this, there's nothing really remaining inside this entire matchup, because the third game we pretty much know does not really change anything at all. But Bengaluru FC, from what I know of them, are gonna try and win this one out. So Varshi and Shagnik, we really thought that this huge gap that they were not in action would sort of be detrimental to their game, but that was not the case today, as they were looking sharp and confident, and even better as ever, because ATK Mohun Bagan, after that one little win, uh, they have just not made themselves visible. If you take a look at the highlights. I mean, it was completely Shagnik just enjoying himself, and I completely agree with what Azim you just said right now. Because to be honest, I really felt that Shagnik could have gotten a few more goals, but he wanted to make a few highlight reels out there. Try out those finesse shots, and well, for a moment, it almost worked out. All right, so a little bit of internet issues here and there. We live in a troubled world. Azim is going to be with us in just a little wee while, but I think the voice in my head says that yeah, Azim is back. All right, so it's good. Good things take some time, and he's going to be back with us pretty soon. But yeah, today's games were pretty one-sided in both the encounters that we did see. Bengaluru FC really having a rather easier time going up, and after this, Shagnik, he's just gonna have that confidence which he needs to carry forward and look at the next game. And all these players have been talking about they look at these matches per game, and which is quite understandable. They want to be
Yeah.
modest, they want to be sticking to the ground. They do not seem to be making any big claims, but we like big mouth targets, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, obviously we do want to see, as you said, the Zlatan Ibrahimovic equivalent of the eISL, somebody who really talks the talk, but walks the walk as well. I mean, I think for us, to an extent, that has been a mixture of, maybe you could say, Ankit Gupta and Ashwin from Mumbai City FC. These are the guys who've sort of given us content दिया है उन्होंने. You could say that, but. Speaking of content, lots of goals being scored by Bengaluru FC in this one. 11 goals scored across the two games. Sadly, no goals for KT in this one. And yeah, look at that. Completely dominant display. KT will be annoyed, and I'm sure this is a feeling that ATKMB despise the fact that they've lost those first two games and they're going into yet another co-op game with just nothing really to play for. So it's got to hurt them. It's got to be a case of, oh my god, yet another 12 minutes to endure. Can we just go back to our hotels and just wrap ourselves in our blankets and just chill out? So yeah, hopefully for them, a break of a couple of days should do them some good. Just work on things a little bit. I would say maybe just take a day off from playing entirely, and then go back to it and start practicing once again on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've all been in those days, right? I think one of those days would, of course, be when you went up against Sharanch. And
Yep.
lately, just the other night, I was having some FIFA 22 with my boys, and it was just so good, right? I really felt like, guys, can we change the game? That was the only words that did come out of my mouth. So, because, being 5-0, 6-0 down, it kind of feels a little underwhelming, and
Yeah.
exactly the feelings, the expressions are being sort of reciprocated for ATKMB. And of course, it's just not that. They've got so much burden on their shoulders, right? Especially when you've got that fanfare, the fandom from ATK Mohun Bagan. Now, this is one of those clubs that takes their football really seriously. in not just EISL but in the Hero ISL as well. So
Yeah.
somewhere down the line, it's sometimes too much to handle for these two lads, and they've been trying to cope up. They've managed to get a victory. Maybe it kind of looks like we need to draw a separate budget this time, next time onwards, for the boys for ATKMB, and have some incentives if they win every single matchup. Maybe that could help.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to just start a little bakery shop inside the hotel for them to give them motivation before every game. But I mean, considering they have the ability, I mean, they went up against at that time the leaders in FC Goa and managed to get a very very good win. They played really well on the day, so there is the ability. I think it's really the confidence and the belief that sort of dissipated over the course of this tournament. And for now, they'll be hoping to try and just salvage a little bit of pride. Of course, we know that the Bengaluru FC boys are very, very good with their co-op, but we've also seen that in cases where teams have won both their solo games, they tend to take their eye off the ball just a little bit in co-op, as we see over there. I think there is a free kick given, maybe for an offside, and yeah. We see a little more zoomed in perspective. Also shows you the different camera angles that players tend to use. Where with Bidyataj, it was more close to the field, and for Katie, he likes to have a much more wider perspective of what's happening.
Right.
So interesting to see what kind of stuff the players use as well. I personally prefer the close camera, but use the radar to see what's happening. And yeah, I think could have been prevented over there. The corner, Casillas also maybe just deciding to take a little bit of an afternoon nap over there. I think even he's fed up now of defending the goals from Bengaluru FC. He's like, you know what, Marlo, yaar, theek hai.
We
But
wouldn't
no,
mind, yeah.
yeah, falls to Bengal. Oh, went for Ronaldo, went for that Rabona fake as well. The ball is cleared out. Will it be a corner? Nope, it's a throw, and they'll keep going. So you know that Varsi and Sagnik, they're just going to hog the ball as much as they can. And particularly in co-op, Varsi likes to try a few new and innovative things. They're just walking through right now, and
Oh,
yeah, could have done a bit better with that shot. You'd have to say could have gone for a time finish. Went for that low-driven shot instead, and now ATKMB straight on the counter attack. It is Ronaldo chasing back with Theo Hernandez absolutely leaving him for dead, like the Roadrunner and Wiley Coyote. Beep beep, I'm out. And there, Neymar finds
oh, that's a
Mbappe,
nice one.
and oh, that's beautiful. That's clinical, and the suffering and the misery continues for ATKMB.
And Bengaluru FC with just this one goal also would want to send a message to all their fans. Even their co-op games are really strong, and especially the coordination. I think that is their primary focus in this particular game. After every single time when they're going for it, they're gonna make those close passes. They're gonna make those calls, and they're talking to each other, and it's completely giving or rather bearing fruits for them. So just exactly what the Bengaluru FC fans needed out of them. But for ATK Mohun Bagan, it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, they are trying, I mean, experimenting a little bit. We see Bastian Schweinsteiger as the midfielder again. What? Oh my goodness, just when it's not your day, it's not your day. Because it looked for all the world and it had opened up nicely, had the shot taken. First, he took it wide and then ended up just rabonaing it out for a throw. And now to put insult to injury, almost no. Bengaluru FC showing some mercy. And well, it's a throw for ATKMB.
Oh yeah, it is indeed. And if we um, take a look now at the things over here, ATKMB, they've been trying to create chances, but just not working out for them. At least up until now, we've got to see if they can score a few, or maybe just start off with one. At least for now in the co-op game, try to improve their uh, coordination at the very least, because talking taking a look at the interviews back in the days, we could clearly see that they made claims that under pressure is where they tend to thrive. Now they are not just under pressure, they are under massive pressure, and they seem to be collapsing.
Yeah, ATKMB have not dealt. Wow, using a scorpion kick to get the ball to the keeper of there. But yeah, ATKMB have not really been able to cope with the pressure so far this tournament. And you can see, like, I think if that first win had gone their way, if the first game against Bengaluru FC had gone their way, if Bindratej had held on to that win, maybe it could have been a completely different story. But because your first game in a big LAN environment, you go 5-2 up, everything is rosy, everything is nice, and then suddenly you end up losing that 6-5. That can really really hurt and dent your confidence. And I don't think they ever really came back from that. We did see glimmers of it from them briefly, but for the most part, sadly, they've been the guys that. Well, everyone's had a good time playing against them for the most part. Just FC Goa, poor old FC Goa, not
Ooh.
managing the win. The cross over hit over there, and Mbappe comes back. There is a advantage played by the referee. Theo Hernandez now getting forward on that left flank, using Kevin De Bruyne. Finds the pass. Can he find? Well, Ronaldo just about reaches to the goalkeeper, and Bengaluru FC, after scoring that one goal, not been too much of a threat from them. Most of the threat has been coming from ATKMB going forward. And also, most of the threat of ATKMB has been stopped by ATKMB only because they keep putting the ball out for throws.
Oh yeah, and this is where we can see a demarcation in their co-op plays, right? When it comes down to Bengaluru FC, they like to keep things simple. They stay in close contention to each other. They make those passes, but when you're going for the long passes for ATKMB, that clearly isn't seeming to work out. But hold on, we've got a bit of an attack being created from the right wing. Went in for a cutback, did not go, but still Bengaluru FC wanted to maintain possession. But nice read from Cullen's side, anticipating, and now they're on a counter attack.
Yeah, they're just always there in the right place, right time. I think the referee needs to check. Are there 11 players for Bengaluru FC? Well, it looks like there are 13 at times. They're just able to find that. Oh, but now it's finding the way through. And Van der Sar again hit straight, not finding the corner over there. And that has been the problem for KT since the start today. Has had opportunities, but not been able to find the corner, hitting a shot straight at the keeper. And ball one back high up the pitch. You can see now they're sort of going for broke, going high pressure. And again, these are the kind of passes that are the hallmark of frustration, of annoyance, because you're just trying to force through opportunities and gaps that are not quite there. And I think composure is the word that really needs to be the key for ETKMB. Just need to remain composed.
Yeah, I think exactly. And they need to make the baby steps, right? We haven't seen them making the same. And Bengaluru FC have been sending them for a run, right? Whatever the outcome of this game is still not going to change the fact that Bengaluru FC walk home with 3 points in the belts, right? For ATKMB, again, a learning lesson, but if things continue going on like this, we really thought the second half for ATKMB in terms of this entire eISL would be on the greener side because with that comeback that evening, I really thought that yes, the boys seem to make a comeback. Maybe if they sort of have a perfect score all along, they're gonna look at the top four. I was being a little dreamer, but if this sort of continues on, then I don't think we're going to see ATKMB in the top four at the very least, and that's not going to be too pleasing. Not just only for them, but also for their fans.
Yeah, I think for ATKMB is baby steps. I mean, top four is nigh on impossible right now. I think for them the objective has to be get off the bottom. Let's start from there, and of course for that that will require Chennai and FC to do a little bit of a favor for them. Later in the day, we do know that Chennai and FC versus Hyderabad FC is one of the games coming up. So, and of course, we have a nice firecracker. Wait, hang on. Speaking of firecrackers, almost into the top corner there. Nice finesse shot. And now from the corner, let's see what they can do over there. But yeah, speaking of firecracker matches, our third match of the day coming later in the evening is, of course, Northeast United versus Mumbai City FC, a battle for the top as well. And that's going to be a huge game in the battle for the top four. But now Bengaluru FC continuing to attack, smashing. Casillas feeling violated right now, just getting whacked left, right, and center by the football. And yeah, not a great day for ATKMB once again, sir.
Oh yeah, again, I mean Bengaluru FC that hasn't really been reciprocated in terms of how they've scored. Right, it's still a 1-0, but alright, the ball is still in play. Khalid passing it on to its Pele, and it's all in shambles. But yeah, ATKMB, they at least need to maybe draw a tie out. just to make sure that they've not lost themselves in the process. But with Pele, it's a really fast counter attack. But Maldini, he was just not gonna let the ball go.
Yeah, and well, at least for ATKMB, if they can manage to even eke out a draw, where just get that one goal, little bit of a boost, I think, for them. Something to take home, something to write home about, and they could just get their. I think going for that chop back and the finish shot as well. We're going to see a lot of players attempting that. We've seen the likes of Ankit and Ashwin take us by surprise doing that. We did see Shagnik attempt that as well. So interesting. I'm not even sure how these guys figure out that these are the tricks. This is the foolproof, the fail-safe shot, because must take hours and hours of practice and also researching and watching other like creators, YouTubers around the game and seeing what's happening, what's sticking. So yeah, the commitment and the effort that goes into not just the playing and the practice, but also the research to find out what little bits of the game, what little bits of physics are working, what is not working. And let's see, he is in that position for the chop back. There you go, goes for it again. And clearly, I think a little too far out in that moment to try it out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Bengaluru FC, they're just getting crafty, right? Trying out new stuffs, if that really works out. Because again, they're playing like as if they've got nothing to lose. Now, I could see them scoring one more potentially very quickly if ATKMB are being a little bit complacent. I think that's the case over here. Bengaluru FC, most of the times we've seen them, they've been building up the attack, goes in for the shot, but Casillas with a save. So, this sort of brings us to this conversation. How have you been liking Casillas? Now he's not the tallest one in comparisons to Van der Sar, right? But he's still been making those saves.
Yeah, I think obviously the reflexes that he's offering and the positional awareness that he's giving you is seems to be superior to what Van der Sar was offering. Oh my goodness, that's outstanding! That's a nutmeg! It is 2-0 to Bengaluru FC. That was superb, and it looks like it was Varsi who did that. He's the guy who seems to really bring it and bring those fire plays in the co-op games. And yes, Neymar doing a bit of a dance over there, and dance he may, because that was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? They're trying to make those fancy moves, trying out different stuff. Otherwise, the score lines could have been completely different. And now you can see, I think the players are almost on the verge of tears at this point. All you can do is just feel bad for themselves. They want this matchup to end, and it feels saddening. But this is a mean world, right? You've got to be the strong one to live and survive. You just can't keep losing matches, and it's I do not know for ATKMB, Azim. This needs to end.
I think maybe now they need to start resorting to some roughhouse tactics in the studio. Just when they're losing, just one teammate goes and pulls out the power plug. It's like, oops, sorry, rematch. Just go and wipe all the security, the stream footage, so nobody knows how many minutes were played. But no, I mean, for them, it's obviously a rough time. I think for them, it's just now about enjoying the rest of the experience. As I said, trying to inconvenience the guys at the top the most, because if there's a team that could make it into the top four and they end up defeating one of their rivals, I mean, those guys, they're going to be friends for life. So now it's about just I think networking to an extent. But whoa, we see Puskas. Let's see if he's going to score a crazy goal. No, not quite. Of course, the best goal of the year, or named after Mr. Puskas over there. The award recently won by Eric Lamela for that Rabona finish that he scored for Tottenham versus Arsenal. And I think they're just experimenting, having a bit of fun, and also having fun is Mbappe raiding down that wing. Plenty of options to choose from. Eventually chooses neither. And well, for the city of Kolkata, it's a very interesting situation, I must say, because in the Hero ISL, ATKMB sitting in 7th position, SC East Bengal sitting dead last. In the eISL, SC East Bengal first, ATKMB last. So lots of banter and bragging going on, I'm sure, in Kolkata right now.
Yeah, at least each club has a reason to celebrate and to be happy. Otherwise, things really get sour over there. But for now, Bengaluru FC, they would want to search for another really crafty goal. And that has been their intention, right? From the very start of this game, Mbappe receiving the pass will give it back to De Bruyne. But eventually has been stolen away, and ATKMB, come on, just score one. Because that would at least help them better their spirits, right? You've got to be fighters, and ATKMB. Oh,
Ooh. Yeah, you
I
know
like
that
it.
kind of. It's yeah, that's
It's
what I meant.
fine.
Just rough house tactics now. Just go get 7 players sent off in a game where you're 5-0 down, and then because of the forfeit, you only lose 3-0. Big brain tactics. Yes. But as we tick down now, the final whistle is moments away. Let's see if they decide to go for it. They will immediately kick that ball out. And finally, I think KT Dillon's suffering can end. And of course, for Bindratej as well. Job well done for Bengaluru FC. A clean sweep, and they are back on their way. Of course, lots of goals scored as well. That goal difference of theirs will have also taken a nice, healthy jump. And they could be in a battle that could depend and come down to the wire for goal difference for fourth place. So, very, very important for them. And now, sort of just looking at the stats and taking stock of what happened through the game. Eventually, I think a good day for them. No real weaknesses to the game apart from maybe the first 15 minutes of the game between Vasi and Bindratej. After that, it's all been really one-way traffic.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really happening. And it was just about, I think, the first half between Bindratej and the Varsi game where we really thought that, Bindratej is still going to put up a fight. It was a very competitive half. And later down, it just went downhill for ATKMB at the very least. And it just started getting worse. And heading into the second game, Shagnik absolutely took KT for a joyride, right? And then it just got worse during the co-op where they absolutely were just playing around. And had they wanted, had they really desired, they could have scored a few more goals. But this is what we were talking about, right? They were up to shenanigans, and Bengaluru FC just maintaining those little goal leads. They were happy with the fact as to where they stood. Now, just it was quite visible from the players' expressions, right? They were just toying around a little bit and everything. But overall, Bengaluru FC a nice comeback. I think after a long time, they've managed to get on the greener pastures, and they would be looking forward to continue this kind of run.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, they do have a few rivals for that top four playing today. Chennai FC, Northeast United FC, Mumbai City FC. Of course, out of the three of those, at least one is going to drop points. So plenty of hope for them. Of course, they have played a game more than Kerala Blasters FC at this point, I believe. So they do need to, just adapt and evolve into that situation as it comes along, and hope that Kerala Blasters FC drop more points in the next game. Easier said than done. But yeah, again, completely dominant display in the co-op, 2-0. I mean, doesn't really tell the whole story. I think it was very, very one-sided by the end of it. And yeah, you got to feel for the ATKMB boys. It's not been their day, their week, their month. It sounds like I'm doing the Friends song right now, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But it will eventually, apna time aayega, as they say. And I'm sure they're going to get a few more points. I think small targets. I think their next target needs to be by the end of the season. Let's be in double digits in terms of points, and I'm sure they're going to kill a few more giants along the way. Not happened today. Very, very comprehensive. 6-3, 5-0, 2-0, 13 goals on board, only 3 conceded. So a healthy boost to their goal difference as well, and good day all out, all over for Bengaluru.
100% agree with you, but this is where it gets sort of concerning for ATK Mohun Bagan, right, Azim, because now they literally have the swords hanging over their heads, right? One little mistake and it's done, it's over, because they've played quite a lot of games. They haven't made any progressive results, just that one win, I think, out of 11 or 12 fixtures that they've played. So again, this is sort of alarming for them. If for them to actually have a chance to make it to the top 4, they have to win every single game here on. There's no turning back. So time is of the absolute essence. But that apart, let's take a look at who the hero of this match is going to be. Is it going to be the big man, Watsi, or Sagnik? Here it is. So those goals in the co-op game also coming out of him. 6 goals in overall that he scored across the 2 games that he's played, earning himself the title of the hero of the match. Not just that, he was pretty clean, right? Did not concede, made those clear goals, and just a better player. But Varsi also was kind of a little debating who would deserve. But either ways, I think that's none of their concerns because they're just happy with the 3 points that they've received, and they've worked hard for it, and it's finally showing results.
Yeah, and clearly been working on his finishing. You can see these time finishes absolutely flying in. His teammate at a couple of times was just awestruck, couldn't believe quite what was happening. So, great day at the office for Shagnik. Well done to him for coming straight back into the eISL after a couple of weeks out. Immediately getting into the zone, getting into the group, scoring 5 goals in his individual game, getting this goal, second goal in the co op game as well. This little nutmeg in the middle, beautifully worked, and the 2-0 for Bengaluru FC. But not quite happening for ATKMB. But mark my words, guys, they're not. It does look like they're not going to reach into the top four. But mark my words, they are going to have a role in deciding which 4 teams actually do get there. And to see where that battle stands, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard.
All right, you had to pull that thread, right? But there you have it. So Chennai FC is still on top. They've been leveled up with Mumbai City FC. 21 points is where they're at. But SC East Bengal still 2 games short, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna rocket their way past with the way they're playing. They've been playing, right? Very good statistics going on. But there you can see ATK Mohun Bagan, 12 games played, the most games played, and they do not have a lot, right? And just sitting at 3 points in consideration to the other teams over here, they've got to defeat the whole bunch. Now, if even if they lose a single game, I think the journey pretty much is done. And like you said, right, they'll be on the side roles there. They'll be the ones who might create differences against the other teams. Might spoil a few games here and there, but for now we can keep that aside because we've got the hero of today's games with us, of course, Sagnik on the other side, who's absolutely elated with a victory. And Sagnik, again, you did take KD for a ride, and something similar to what Saranch did and regained his form. Now, this was a really explosive game from your side. What are we expecting out of you in the future?
Yeah, I mean, we had a break of like 1 month, so this game
Yeah.
was really important to build the confidence upon for the next half of the league.
Yeah. So we saw you trying, particularly in your co-op, a lot of those chop back and finish shots. Is that something you expect to be seeing a lot of going forward? And do you think it's something that is so much of an exploit that maybe they'll be looking to patch it out with a new update later?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's a glitch. I mean, I'm quite confident about my playstyle, but it's such an exploit that even I had to include it in my game.
I mean, when you've got 78 lakh rupees on the line, I think that's quite understandable if you are going for it. And as long as you're not using any unfair means, we would not really complain. But, coming back, we've seen a few updates here and there. We've seen a lot of players rather going for Casillas. In respect to Van der Sar, how do you feel Casillas stands out?
Yeah, Casillas is probably the best keeper when it comes to 1v1, but he concedes a lot of chip shots and finish shots. So, I mean, I would rather prefer, saving the normal shots rather than
Right.
1v1s.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. But congrats on the win. You guys now are looking back, looking upwards towards top four. Of course, you'll need a few players, few teams to drop points, and of course, beat a lot of the teams above you. So, how realistic are your top four chances? Do you think right now?
I mean, again, like we don't look at other teams' points. We have to win like 4 to 5 games on a trot from now to have a chance to compete in the top four. So yeah, we are taking one game at a time at the moment.
I mean, considering the players, including you, of course, Warsi, the caliber that you possess, we've seen in the previous tournaments that it is definitely a reality. You've had a few shaky games, but I'm pretty sure the second half that Warsi has been emphasizing on would really be good for you. But with that being said, thank you so much, Shagnik, for making your time, and we wish you all the best that you win your next few games and some more phenomenal goals from your side. Huh?
Thank you, guys.
All right, they've been pretty forward. Very simple guys, very fun to chat with. Met them in the studio a few times here and there. But yeah, like they said, the competition is getting intense. But this is not the time to ponder over others' lakes, right? You've got to watch your own pond. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to build up their own scores. But that being said,
Yeah.
of course, ladies and gentlemen, for this fixture, Bengaluru FC walked off with an easy win, 3 points earned, and ATK Mohun Bagan, the misery sort of continue. Maybe next time when we get to see them, that's where we see the second win of the eISL. But that was all about this game. Before we head off, a huge shout out to our sponsors, starting off with Coca-Cola, of course, and then our associate sponsors, Hero Esports Partners, Nordwind Gaming, our platform partners, PlayStation, for making this event possible. But that being said, we're done with this fixture, but we still have two more to go.
Yeah.
So you can call your friends, you can hop over to the other stream because we're waiting for you over there.